Ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow!
Showtime, kiddo. I think we got the maid we got the maid ready to go. I think she's gonna deliver. Oh, just slide Basil over a little bit. Okay. So what do you say? Can you expand that? Basil calling. He says, could be Basil calling. Basil's right here. Okay. It's confusing. Basil, I think it's one of your relatives from the hereafter. It's Lil! Oh my God! Well, we got to get Lil on the phone. Hold on. I got you on speakerphone, Lil, hopefully. And Lil is also on. Now, you know Lil is actually also still on the on Basil's Facebook page, and also on the entry and the exit of the show. Well, that's pretty amazing that that she lives on. She's okay. You ready for some? Okay, go ahead. A little feather dusting, kitty. Okay. Hold on. This might Ross's first. Wait. Well, hold on a second here. Hold on. 40-second work week again, obviously. You know, you're going to have to come back and do some dusting eventually. Wow, it's, okay, Lil's here. Basil, what do you got cooked up for us tonight? Basil's going to reach out to his friend Ted Cruz and say, what the fuck? He's going to reach out to our backstage harmonica band, and apparently it's led by a fellow named M. Honer from Germany. Okay, reach out. What the? they want us to go highest to lowest, or lowest to the highest, highest to the lowest. What the? Lowest to the highest, obviously. And they want us to reach out to our sponsors. Hershey's, not Hershey's. Does Hershey own Tootsie Roll? Might. Reach out to our sponsor, Tootsie Roll. What the? Okay. I don't know. How about to the pigs in the audience? And that's not you, Bill Murray. You're not a pig. Said, I am so. Well, okay. Everybody in the audience, what the? Okay. Okay. Now that we got those out of the way, we'll get to our corporate sponsors later on. You know, the Baba, the Yaba, the Baba, and the Baba, the whatever. And hello from the rat, who's was our attempt to get Walter to hang around on the table a little while longer. Hopefully the rat would do the trick, and apparently not. So Basil says he's got on the agenda. We got a little bit into a discussion about, well, we discussed Tiger Wood, and weren't sure whether it was Tiger Wood, Tiger Woody, or Tiger Wood do anyone, or perhaps even possibly Tiger Woods. And we had a brief conversation with, it was either Lynn Savon or Lindsey Vaughn. We weren't really quite sure about who that was. And a conversation that involved Tiger Woods' well, a relative on one side or the other, a female relative on one side or the other, or male relative, one or the other. It was either Filipinas, or on the male side of his male relative of his, Philip Penis. And they were calling out Dan Jenkins, the reporter who did the article about the empty chair Tiger Woods. And we're still pursuing Dan Jenkins about that, because empty chair is our idea. We empty chaired Clint Eastwood at the Republican convention. We got that idea actually from Progressive Soup, where they empty chair interviewed Joe Lieberman on a show, and he declined the opportunity to present his esteemed view on Obamacare and why he was ready to filibuster in the Senate if any bill came to the Senate floor that had a public option attached to it. You could read into that Medicare. But here we go. You mind if I take a minute, Basil, to go into detail about a different show that's not your show? Okay, Basil says, nope. Says, nope. Well, I'm going to do it anyway because Snarky and Tweety behind the camera have allowed me to do that, and they're still miffed at you because you haven't completed your interview with them. So Joe Lieberman, whose wife Hadassah is an employee of the healthcare industry, the HMOs, and her principal job was to get Joe to refuse to let a public option pass whereby HMOs would where HMOs would be cut out of the deal and wouldn't get their vig on every piece of the healthcare industry post healthcare, post Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, and she succeeded, and we didn't end up with Medicare for all, but as it turned out, a lot of folks have been added under Medicare. because there's a provision in the healthcare law that that allows states to buy into Medicare for those who don't qualify for conventional health care, and buy into Medicare at a reduced rate or at no charge. And that helped get, in Kentucky, it helped get a lot of very poor people from Appalachia, from the coal country, health care coverage and doctor's visits for the first time in ever. So, we want to go back and we want to talk to, as we would on the last two shows, and we got started talking to Megan Fox. And turns out, oh, wait a sec, hold on. It's the Inky Dinky phone. Hello, Basil BuddhaCat presents. Tweety, check and see if this is a number coming from Stanford. See if this is Joe Lieberman's actual cell phone number, because the caller in says he's Joe Lieberman. And it's been a while since we've seen Joe around, so he's been kind of in hiding. So we want to Tweety's giving me the sideways, up and down, backwards, frontwards rotation of his right wing. Right wing, yeah. That means you got it. Okay. So former Senator Joe Lieberman on the phone, and do you have something to add to our conversation about your not being able to keep everyone from getting into the healthcare plan through their state exchanges? And Senator Lieberman has two things to say. He says, "What the?" And he also has to say, "What the?" Wordy dude, huh? Thanks for calling. Okay, now, we have to get going on the show, because the show actually revolves around the escapades of Megan Fox, who is not a creationist, because they don't call themselves creationists now. Well, some of them do. But a lot of them have gone to saying they don't believe in creationism, but they believe in something called intelligent design. We've been on the air for 13 minutes, and now you're telling me you can't see me? Well, wow. Okay, hold on. Good. Hold on, Basil. Okay. You still there, Lilith? She's there. Spending more time on the show now than she used to. And that's a good thing. Makes Basil happy. I mean, he comes down from the hereafter to host the show in his two-dimensional self. Okay. Okay. You know, I think you'd be able to see me better being in the hereafter, Basil, than you would your two-dimensional avatar here on the show, adorned with your fine plumage and okay. Basil says, "Now I'll translate for you kids in the audience that haven't learned to speak cat yet, and Bill Murray learned to speak cat, so I don't have to translate for him, but Basil said, I can see you perfectly now that you got that attractive red tie on. But you can take it off now if you want, because I'm in the indomitable words of a fellow named Seymour, Basil quotes Seymour on occasion, says, I've seen enough. Okay. So, can we get on with this show, Basil? I mean, we're halfway into our show almost. We're about halfway in. And we need to do the show. We've talked a little bit now about Megan Fox, and I messed my hair up while I was putting my tie on. Great. Megan Fox, who believes in intelligent design, and she went into a museum of natural history. She didn't say what city it was in, because that would lead us to believe that she actually believes in a city. And she's not sure about that, because here's the thing. She said that without videotape evidence of something that happened 4 billion years ago, without videotape evidence, there's no proof. There's no proof that anything happened 4 billion years ago. Because if it happened, there would be videotape evidence. Because God has always had a videotape camera. It's apparently got a 5 billion year warranty on it, in case something goes wrong with it. But God has a videotape camera. God would videotape anything and everything that has ever happened, and that evidence would be available at least to Megan Fox. So at least to Megan Fox, at least she would have access to anything that happened ever as proof that it happened. And she'd be spending some time. Well, I guess God might give her the power to watch enough camera shots simultaneously in order to, in a matter of seconds, see everything that's ever happened in the history of the world. So, therefore, no. Didn't happen. No videotape evidence. She tries to go to the videotape camera, but apparently Warner Wolf is... Basil said Warner Wolf's gone. So he sees Warner Wolf pretty regularly, along with Warner Wolf's pet cat. They're both in the hereafter. And what's Warner Wolf's cat's name? Basil says Warner never gave the cat a name. Sort of like, I don't know who that was calling in. Sort of like, I think maybe we lost our connection to Lil from the hereafter. Okay, well she'll call us back, I'm sure. So, Warner Wolf's cat doesn't have a name. He never named the cat. Well, actually, Basil is going to add. Basil says Warner Wolf did actually name his cat, but he named his cat Dunno. That's kind of like what we've done with our new cat who came to us. Basil has a new pet cat in the house. Walter's got a new pet cat in the house. And the cat is finally, after a week and a half, out from under the couch. And he was coming out at night to eat and to drink and to have a Tootsie Roll placed in his litter pan. But finally, he's been out regularly, and he and Walter are pussyfooting around occasionally during the day. They're getting along fine. So, call out to our good friends Ying and Edith, who provided Sa. He came as Sa, but we're not sure about the name Sa because we don't understand Mandarin. So we've thought about having a more anglicized, more Americanized name for Sa, and we've considered the name Sneaker because he sneaks around a lot. For a while there, we'd be hunting around the house and have no idea where he was. So, and then finally would find him in like the last possible place we could possibly look, because he's sneaky. So we considered Sneak. We considered Sneaker because he's black and white, principally black with a little bit of white and a little white tip on his tail. So he could pass for a sneaker shaped as a cat, black and white. Like a lot of sneakers are black and white. So anyway, so getting back, we've digressed too much already. So we had a question, and we wanted to throw the question out to, I know she's watching because we have a video camera, and she's watching everything ever videotaped, ever. And that's how she knows that nothing ever happened 4 billion years ago, because there's no videotape. But our question to Megan Fox is this, and I want to get on the phone to, okay. Oh, look, she called in. Is this Megan Fox on the phone? And that's not to be confused with Megan Fox, the actor, because it's a different person. So, Megan Fox, we have a question from Basil for you. And the question is, if you're looking ahead of you, does everything that's behind you cease to exist unless you're not looking at it? Because Basil's grandpa, Basil's grandpa, Sam Stevenson, who right now is probably chasing Basil away because he wasn't a big cat fan, unfortunately, but wasn't a big dog fan either, for that matter. So does that get him brownie points from you? Basil says, "Look at my litter pan. Maybe you'll find some." So Megan Fox, if you're looking, for instance, to the east, and you can't see what's behind you to the west, what's out of your periphery of vision, does that not exist when, well, you can't see it? She's thinking, and I know she's thinking because there's some sounds like some nuts and bolts rattling around inside a tin can. She says, "No, that's not a fair question to ask because she knows that we're trying to trap her. We're trying to, and yeah, we are. We're trying to trap you. We're trying to get you to come to the conclusion that, in fact, just because you don't see something on videotape doesn't mean that it doesn't exist." Right, Piggy? Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, we're trying to get you to come to the conclusion that because you may or may not believe that something behind you actually exists, even though you can't physically see it, either live or on videotape, does that mean that things could have happened 4 billion years ago, for example, and you might be inclined to believe in them even though there's no videotape? And okay, she's saying that she's probably going to have a conversation with Sarah Palin about this, because she doesn't get much opportunity to be trapped and have to admit that what she thinks is stupid. That she thinks that if she has a conversation with Sarah Palin, maybe she can figure out a way, with her help, with Sarah Palin's help, to double talk her way out of it. Okay, I will leave that thought with you, and let me clearly re-enunciate that thought, and then you can do what you will with it. The question is, if you can see what's going on, if you believe in what's going on behind you that you can't see while you're looking forward, something you can't see in your field of vision, your periphery, if that exists, if what's behind you exists, if you believe that, would you not believe, or would you believe that that something that you don't have videotape evidence of might actually exist, or does actually exist? We'll take it to that level. It does actually exist. She's saying, again, she's going to have a conversation with Sarah Palin and come back and try to double talk her way out of it later on in the show. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting question to folks, not just Megan Fox, but to people that believe in intelligent design and believe that, like Megan Fox does, that if you can't If you can't see it, does it actually exist? Could it exist? Does it exist? If there's scientific evidence. Hate to use the blasphemous word science, but, hey, that's it. And with that, we're going to have to step away from Basil BuddhaCat. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter, and chief gopher, and apparently new maid, because Walter's closing down shop every week after 40 seconds of work, and expects the full pay of Zippo, but just the same. Okay, good night.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Fritter her away, her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Meow.